Good afternoon, Nerd Fam, and welcome back to San Jose, California. We're here at Nvidia GTC, perhaps the hottest and most hyped tech show of the year. I am very excited to be coming to you from the IBM booth today with an interesting story you might not be expecting from a conference very solely focused on compute. I'd like to welcome Briana from IBM. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
So, I love this because A, you were not expecting to be standing here talking to me, but you have a really interesting use case for AI that is truly about humans. We talk a lot about it in the tech world, we talk a lot about it at the enterprise, but the cool parts of AI are when they really touch our human lives. So, tell us what you recently did with Instruct Labs for your personal life.
Okay, absolutely. So I am a lifelong runner, and I also love technology. So I'm a product manager at IBM. And one of the things we're working on is Red Hat AI Instruct Lab. So it allows you to take your private data and align it to a large language model to help with accuracy, but also make sure that your data is private. So what I decided to do, because I'm a runner, is I wanted to train my model on the running shoes I have in my closet. Now there's a lot of advancements in material science, so there's all kinds of really neat shoe functions, and there's foams and carbon plates and all kinds of bells and whistles.
First of all, how many different types of running shoes do you have?
I have 4 in my running rotation, so don't judge me. But actually,
no judgment. I was curious.
Yeah,
it's relevant for the data we're talking about here.
Exactly, and it actually prevents injury, and the shoes last longer if you rotate them because the foams need to rest. So what I did is I trained my model on these specific shoes, but I also used my own running data that's private that I don't necessarily want to share with the world.
Was that through a fitness app, or how did you do that?
With the Garmin app. So it records all my runs, and then I also record what shoes I use for each run. And then so that records things like your ground contact time, your stride length, your cadence, so I can see which shoe I'm running the best in, which shoe I'm running fastest in. And then I can ask my model, once I've trained it, to say, all right, I'm going on a long run. Which shoe should I wear? Or, hey, I have a recovery run, or it's raining, I'm going to be running on the treadmill. Which shoe should I wear?
So how many runs of data did it take for you to be able to train these models?
It really didn't take that many. It took a few months. I think I took maybe 2 to 3 months worth of data. And the way that the product works is you arrange your data in what we call a taxonomy. So you load that data into the taxonomy, and then you create 3 question and answer pairs. So I might say, how much does the Adidas Boston 12 weigh? And I give the answer. And then what the product does is it allows you to take those 3 question and answer pairs and create synthetic data. So it creates 1,000 different question and answer pairs. So it saves a lot of time. You don't have to enter all that information yourself. And then the model is trained on that synthetic data.
So, okay, so were you surprised by anything? Did you think you trained differently in any of the shoes than you actually did?
It was interesting. There was one pair that I didn't realize I was running a little faster in that pair, so it was good. So
ooh,
yeah.
So is that the pair you raced in?
I actually I pulled out a new pair for the race, but the race was successful. I wanted to see if I could shave off a few minutes of my time, and I was able to qualify for Boston my first try of the marathon distance. So I was pretty happy.
Oh my gosh! Congratulations!
Thanks.
That is a really huge deal.
It was
and you
awesome.
just completed this task 2 days ago, correct?
2 days ago. So I'm hobbling around a little bit today.
Hobbling around, but hopefully still reveling in a little bit of that accomplishment and glory.
Yeah, it was definitely one of those things that it's tough, and if you can overcome and train, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
It is pretty fun. So how are you going to use these insights to help you train for Boston?
Yeah, I think that the more you start getting into this, the more complicated you want to make the model. And it's like, oh, how could I add nutrition into this? And like, oh, how much electrolytes am I taking in? Or how many gels should I be using in training?
Or my sleep the night before even.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you start to layer in all this health data, there's just so many possibilities. So
there are a lot of possibilities. That is really exciting. Briana, for folks who might be interested in figuring out how to do this themselves, what's your advice?
So we are in closed beta right now, but we will. This will be open to the public within about a month. And so go to IBM.com or RedHat.com and take it for a spin.
Awesome. Well, we'll be sure and help hype that as well. Fellow runner over here, though I'm not quite sure I'm a marathoner. Although you're
Well,
kind
you
of
could be.
inspiring me.
You could be.
I know. At this point, I was always thinking half I was more of a sprinter back in the day, but I really admire it, and this is so reflective of the culture of innovation within IBM. It's not just about talking about the tech, it's about implementing the tech. Is there any other tech you use for personal use here at IBM?
Well, I mean, we are in IBM Cloud, so any type of app that you want to build, we have all kinds of serverless technology and Kubernetes and logging, monitoring, so pretty much any app that you want to build, we have a good platform for it.
Ooh, well, I can't wait to see what people inspired by your exciting marathon story end up doing. Instruct Labs open source, such an exciting project and such a fun use case. Briana, thank you so much for taking the time.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope all of you runners are feeling inspired and learning how your data could be powering your next marathon and helping you find the right shoes for the occasion. We're here at Nvidia GTC in San Jose, California. My name's Savannah Peterson. You're watching theCUBE, the leading source for enterprise tech news.